Logic Pro X quick tip. Change the snapping settings to suit you in all situations. Let's check it out right now. So the snapping and current grid settings are up here, and the default is Smart, where Logic basically tries to guess what you are trying to snap to. It works okay, but as you can see, if I drag this, it is more difficult to set it to, for example, an exact quarter note, or let's say a half bar mark here. It's too easy to make a small error this way, so I advise that you make a habit of changing the snap division setting every now and then into what is most suitable at the moment. For example, I find myself using the beat division a lot nowadays, because I rarely align clips in smaller increments than quarter notes anyway. Then my next tip is to be aware of what the snapping mode is set to, absolute or relative. Let me show you. So let's say you have moved this clip without snapping on, or that it is for some reason out of time. And then you want to move it to align to this part here. Well, if this setting is on relative, it means that it will move the part for the length of the snapping division value from its actual position. So if I try to drag this to align now, it will not work. I need to change this snapping mode to absolute, which will make the part snap to the absolute quarter note in this case, since I have the snapping division set on beat right now. So when would you want to use relative mode? Well, let's say you have an audio clip that starts before the bar line. It might be a reverse sound going into a whoosh or something like that. And then you want to copy this to repeat a couple of bars later, but you want to keep the same timing. Well, if you have absolute setting on Snap-on, and if I now hold down the Option key to make a copy, as I drag this, it will snap to the absolute value of the current grid setting on Snap. So let's say I have it set on bar here, it will snap the starting point to the exact bar lines. Well, that is not what I wanted. So let's go and change the setting up here to relative. And now again, if I duplicate this and drag the copy to the right, you see how it remains the relative timing as it snaps to each bar. So I can now drop it here on, let's say, bar 10, and you can see that it has an equal amount of the clip before the bar line here as it had on the first clip. That's what the relative snapping mode is for. Finally, I also recommend checking the alignment guides option, because sometimes you think you align two clips together, but if you zoom in, there is a small alignment error. So if I zoom in here now, look at this tiny gap, and that is all it takes to mess things up with timing. But if you have the alignment guide option activated, as you drag a clip close to another, you will see this line turn yellow when Logic senses that two clips are perfectly aligned. Alright, so make sure to stay in control of the grid and the snapping settings, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe now and watch a lot more videos on composing music, producing music, sound design, Logic Pro X and much more. I'll see you in the next video, my friends.